What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, a brand new team building video. What we're doing is we're having a go at building around macadii, the Gyarados, down in UU. Yes, it did just drop, so I'm really excited for this. I cannot wait to use it because it's always been slightly lackluster, I found, in the recent OU metagame, but down in UU, it could have the potential to absolutely wreck souls. So I am really excited for that. And if you're excited as well, don't forget to hit the like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. It really supports the channel, and also just shows me what sort of videos you like me doing, and just how much you like the team as well, if you really like the team. But anyway, don't forget as well to let me know nickname suggestions and also moveset suggestions, to change the team up, any weaknesses and stuff like that, because I do make these teams live, and it's always good to get your suggestions on there before I end up doing the live. But anyway, what we've got is a Dragon Dance bulky set, similar to the OU set, but a slight tweak in the EVs, with Waterfall, Bounce, Dragon Dance, and then finally Substitute. I decided on Substitute over Earthquake. It's a really difficult choice, but I do like the fact that I can set up then on things like Blissey and stuff like that, because I can sub on their T-Waves or Toxics and go on from there. It was a really hard call, but I think overall that's probably the best decision with this guy. Leftovers allows us to recover up from that sub. The other option we could have gone for is Lum, but I do like that extra recovery that you get from Leftovers, but as you said, that moveset may change later on, but I figured a fairly standard set was the best way to start with this, with 172 Jolly in speed, which at +1 allows us to outspeed base 130s. So we're going to be outspeeding Crobat and Jolteon, which are the main speedy threats. I could put a whole ton in there to outspeed things like, I think I might be able to just about outspeed, I think I can get up to just after 145, so I'd be able to just outspeed Mega Beedrill, but I don't think it's worth it considering how much it's used, and I can always just build around it and make sure I don't have too much of an issue with it. So I've been having a think about teammates that go really well with this guy, and two teammates stuck out, which would work really well to make a really nice sort of bulky but offensive core at the same time. So the first Pokemon that pairs absolutely immensely is Ampharos. Mega Ampharos, because obviously we are very allergic to electric type moves, so having something that's quad weak to electric is also really nice. The advantage of Ampharos as well is the fact that it allows us to check other Gyaradoses, because Gyarados is going to be rampant in this tier, I can imagine, and also Crawdon, which recently dropped, and I think it's still there if I remember rightly. So this guy is going to be a defensive pivot, but it means we can hit hard still, because we're base 145 attack, if I remember right, special attack, once we mega up, and also the fact that we get some good stabs in terms of Dragon Pulse and Volt Switch. This guy is going to allow us to get some nice pivoting going, some nice walling, and also give us a sleep switch in as well, which is really nice. So we're going to go for a max defensive set here with 248 in HP, 252 in defense with a bold nature. So this is allowing us just to completely wall stuff. And with the typing, it's got quite good typing, so it should be good. And it pairs, as I said, fairly well with Gyarados. Next up, we need to have a think about something else that pairs well. And one Pokemon that I thought could work really well is the problem we've got at the minute is really bulky waters. We do slightly struggle with those. And also, currently our core is very much threatened by Nidoking. And also Nidoqueen, obviously. So one Pokemon I thought that could work really well as a sort of check to that is Shaymin. Because Shaymin gives us a stall breaker, because we can go for the Life Orb set. We're just going to grab the Smogon Lancer here, because having something that's a stall breaker is really nice, because you do get a surprising amount of stalling Pokemon in the UU tier. So having something that can break that is really nice. So this set with Seed Flare means that there's very few switch-ins, we can get Spadef drops and all those sorts of things. Dazzling Gleam allows us to handle things like Hydreigon, because we do outspeed those. And then Psychic, as I said, allows us to check Nidoqueens and Nidokings. By hitting them hard, we outspeed them. We could potentially come in on Earth Power, we just got to play around it. I decided on Synthesis. I think Synthesis over Rest is probably the best bet here, because Rest makes us lose momentum and stuff like that, whereas Synthesis does help, it doesn't recover as much, but it makes sure we don't lose as much momentum there. Right, so this is the core that I'm thinking of going for. Obviously, we do need some form of spinner, and obviously Stealth Rock, etc. as well. So I'm thinking Forretress. Forretress could work really nicely here with a leftover set, with Sturdy, with Rapid Spin, because he is a very reliable Rapid Spinner. I don't want a flying type as a defogger, because the problem is with Ampharos and also Shaymin will be compounding Ice weakness, and you really don't want to be doing that. So We're going to go for a Rapid Spin, Stealth Rocks. Let's see, Volt Switch, because that allows us to be another defensive pivot, which is really, really nice. So getting in our offensive threats and stuff like that. I think this is gonna be shaping to be quite an offensive team. We're gonna go for Volt Switch and finally Gyro Ball, because that allows us to hit fairies hard. And what we're gonna do, I'm actually leaning towards a Spadef set here, because that gives us more overall bulk. We've already got a great physical wall there, so having something that can give us a little bit more physical, special bulk would be really, really nice. Obviously, he can't take really powerful, especially defensive hits, but we can definitely work around that. Okay, so we're doing pretty well in terms of typing and synergy and stuff like that, because Forretress pairs really nicely with Gyarados. Obviously, Gyarados gives us a ground immunity, but it would be nice to have one more, possibly. I think that's, yeah, I have an idea of one Pokemon that could work well. It's one of my favourite Pokemon, Crobat, because Crobat with Choice Band is so good in this tier, because this allows us to check fairies. We can infiltrate through subs, which is really, really nice. Brave Bird, Cross Poison. That allows us to hit fairy types really hard as well, and this gives us a Forretress check, because at the minute Forretress can't hit massively hard, and Forretress at the minute kind of walls our team outside of, obviously, Shaymin getting Spadef drops, so I think Crobat's probably a good way to go with that. U-turn, it also gives us more Volt Turn. I do enjoy having a bit of Volt Turn going on in the team, so having three Volt Turners would be really, really nice. And then a final move, it's a really tricky one. We could go for Roost potentially, but the trouble is with the Choice Band, it does end up with us losing momentum. We could go Tailwind, actually, because Tailwind allows us to sort of sacrifice, obviously, we sacrifice our Crobat, get up the Tailwind, and what that means then is that we can come in with, say, Shaymin. We outspeed everything then with Shaymin, or we could go into Ampharos and hit relatively hard with Ampharos, or even Gyarados. Then we don't even have to set up Dragon Dancers, and we can come in and start hitting hard from there. So I think that could be a good option for this team, just to get that little bit of extra momentum and catch people off guard there. So we're going to have 252 in attack, 252 in speed to maximise that speed stat, and the last 4 in there. I'm just going to make sure we've got all the 4s in there before you guys shout at me. Yep, that's looking good. So we've got some nice synergy going on. We have got a bit of an ice weakness. That's the only thing I can say about this team, really. So one thing we do seem to struggle with now is powerful dragon types. You know, things like Haxorus. It could be a bit of a problem. So I think we could also do with a Scarfer here. So I'm leaning towards some sort of fairy Scarfer. So possibly something like, let's see, what fairy type? So we got Gardevoir in this tier now. I think we do, don't we? Whimsicott. Whimsicott could work, but I don't really think it adds a massive amount. Florges, I'm not particularly keen on because it's quite passive. I think we might be worth going for a Gardevoir with Choice Scarf, because that gives us a Scarfer, which is really, really nice. We can trace abilities, which is also really good. We can go for 252 there, 252. Timid gives us a Trick User as well, which is really, really nice because there's a lot of bulky mons in UU. Dazzling Gleam, Psy Shock. I think we're going to go for Psy Shock. Dazzling Gleam, Psy Shock, and probably Focus Blast, I imagine. Or Healing Wish. Healing Wish could be actually quite interesting. Because that would allow us then to heal one of our Pokemon up, which could become in clutch, actually. So it's whether we want Focus Blast to hit Steel types, because have we got much to hit Steel types really, really hard? Let's see, we've got Dazzling Gleam. I think we're going to change that to Earth Power so we can hit Steel types a little bit harder. Gyarados does handle quite a few different Steel types in the tier, so I'm not too worried. I think we're going to stick with Healing Wish for the time being. I think Healing Wish could be quite interesting, and it allows us to get things back up, obviously, with Crobat and also Gyarados being weak to rocks. Having something that can come in and heal them back up as well could be really, really nice. So I think this is what we're going to stick with the team. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.